would one be a different child with another mother? How could you be with another mother? You would not exist if you had a different mother. You wouldn't exist if you had another grandmother or great-grandmother. It's a butterfly effect. And that's her question. Her question is the same as our question. I don't know. Looking for blame. I mean, I think you asked me what the film's about, and I completely failed to answer. Very simply, the film is about a woman who takes the quite ordinary step of deciding to have a child, and from she certainly, we don't really know whether she decides to conceive, but having decided to conceive, she decides to go ahead with the pregnancy. And we can tell her ambivalence starts right there. She's not fully going for it. There is a reserve, there is a pullback, and that pullback never goes away. She's constantly diverted from the attention that I suggest her baby needs. And that can be seen as a crime of enormous scale. That she could call that a crime. It could eventually end up being a crime. This boy, but I think the thing that's really horrific for her is not just that he grows up to be an extremely misanthropic, alienated, vicious individual. The hideous thing for her is not that this is an exotic thing and a foreign thing. The hideous thing is that she really recognizes it. She recognizes his alienation and his toughness as hers. And that's a worse kind of claustrophobia than if she had a child that she just simply couldn't connect with. But sure, I mean, I think one of the things the film addresses is this thing that all parents know, which is that none of us know what we're doing. I think before you have a child, there's this sense, and maybe it's given out by parents, that parents know what they're doing. Maybe parents tell their children, we know what we're doing. I think it's important for children to think that their parents know what they're doing. It's an important thing to feel held. But truly, everyone's improvising. And there are many ways of messing it up. There are many ways of playing the role badly. And I think that very few parents can say that they don't know this feeling of being miscast. They don't know their lines. They don't quite know how to play this scene. That's what children do to us. They push us constantly because they want us to be authentic with them, and they deserve it too. I think that to be sympathetic to Kevin is quite easy, really, because I think that he has two parents who are not really meeting him. His mother's disconnect is one thing, but his father, who goes for this sort of hey buddy school of it's all going to be all right, vanilla, vanilla, vanilla. You know, the Greeks really had something. They embraced darkness. I mean, if you look at modern Greek cinema also, not only ancient Greek art, in a really healthy way. And I think that this edited family life, which again is not far from something fairly real. This is not a social commentary, as you know, Roger. This is a sort of, I say this film has got as much to do with the practical business of bringing up children as Rosemary's Baby has to do with the practical business of being pregnant. Every woman has a fantasy that when they're pregnant, that they're going to give birth to the devil, even for a second. And every mother has a fantasy at some point or other, and they are being dishonest if they say that they've never had this fantasy, especially if they have boys, I think. This fantasy that their boy is going to end up being something really, really difficult to love.